Hi, today I'm going to show you a really cool way to use word clouds for reading comprehension. So reading comprehension uses a lot of different processes. There's a lot of things involved with it. If you're doing a pre-reading activity for somebody who has reading comprehension issues, you could use a word cloud to make predictions about what you're going to be reading. You could also look at the vocabulary, the common vocabulary in the article very easily and pick out words that you might have to learn more about in order to understand what you're about to read. And then after you're done reading something, a word cloud could then help you determine if you could summarize it, and it actually gives you clues about what words would be useful in summarizing a passage. So I'm going to show you how to create some simple word clouds. I found an article on Wired Magazine's website, and all I know about it is it's called Everything You Need to Know About Energy. This is definitely not my field of expertise, so I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of new information on this website, this article. What I did is I brought out my Read and Write for Google toolbar, which is the purple puzzle piece. And on the Read and Write for Google toolbar, there is a tool on the right side called Simplify Page. It has the arrow down button here. And when I click on it, what it's going to do, it's going to create a new tab for this article, and it gives me a much more simplified version of this article. Now, there's still links in here for ads and stuff like that. So if I want a really clean version of this one, I'm going to copy and paste this to a Google Doc and just delete any ads that might still be on that page. So now that I have a kind of clean version of this article in just a simple Google Doc, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control A to select everything, and I'm going to copy. Then I'm going to go to a new website called Wordartcom. And Wordartcom is a great little word cloud website. There's other ones out there. I like this one the most. And then when you log in for the first time, you'll get a choice to sign up with your Google account. And when you do that, it will allow you to save your word clouds. I have over 40 word clouds I've created recently. So I'm going to just hit the red Create button. Once I do that, it will give me all of my controls over on the left-hand side. Well, on the right side, it will show me my new word cloud every time I hit this red Visualize button. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to each of these headings over here. I'm going to start with words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Import, and I'm going to paste everything from that article that I just copied over, and it's putting all the words in here. I'm going to leave these settings, checkboxes at the bottom to remove common words, numbers, and stemming. Stemming is things like hyphenated or words that carry over from one line to another. So we're going to just ignore all those, but we're going to import everything else. And what it does is it ranks the words by how many times they're used in the article. Okay, so notice the word energy is used 97 times, power 25, electric 24. So this is showing me some basic, a ranking list of how many times each word is used. Once I have this imported, I could hit Visualize on the right side, and it's going to automatically put those words into a word cloud. The bigger the word, the more important it is in the article, or more times it's been used. Now, it's going to give me just a typical word cloud based on whatever settings. I'm not a fan of this font. This is really hard to read for me, especially since I'm dyslexic. So I'm going to go to work my way down these other ones. So this is saying the article is about energy. I wonder, maybe I'm going to do something, pick a shape over here that has something to do with energy. So I'm going to see, is it fire? And I could click something and visualize, or maybe I'll choose, it takes a second, or you could choose some sort of other picture. Maybe I'm going to choose a light bulb because that seems kind of fitting for this one because it's about energy. So I like that shape. So I'm going to go to fonts. Fonts are really important to me, again, as a dyslexic. So I'm going to choose kind of a simple font that's kind of a little fat on the fat side, easy to read. So I'm going to try this, this one at the bottom and hit visualize and see if it's a little easier on my eyes to read it. That's a lot easier for me to read with that font. I also care about the layout. Again, as a dyslexic, I usually like all my words to be horizontal, but it's okay if some people want to mix it up a little. You could try all different random, and you could see some of the words are vertical, some of the words are slanted, some of the words are whatever. But when you roll over the words, it will put them horizontal. You could have the words any way you want to. I just prefer mine horizontal. Now, down here under density, under the layout, I usually do change this. So normally the default is 20%. I like to crank it up to like 45 or 50%, somewhere in there. So once I do that, I visualize, because that will kind of fill in the white spaces with more words, some of those background words. So you can see some of the words that are popping out at me. And then I'm going to go to style. And style, I think, is really important because that's your color. So if I go to custom here, I could click on any of these colors, and it gives you some color choices here. If you click on it again, you could erase those colors, and you could add your own colors to the palette. And I'm going to just pick some darker colors because I like to read with darker colors. Something a little on the easier side to read. Okay. And that gives my colors a little darker. And then I could also change things like my rollover text color. I usually like that to be red, and I'm going to show you why in a second. I'm going to make that red with a yellow box. Because that way when it pops out yellow, it just pops out at me more when I do that. You could also change the background color if you want to. I'm going to choose pink. If you don't want it to be a specific color, you could choose white, or you can make it transparent like this. I usually like white though as my background, just to make it easier to see. And that's my word cloud. Once you have a word cloud created, you could name it up here at the top. So I'm going to call this one Energy Article. And I could save it, and it saves it to my Wordartcom account. Now, if I want, I could download this as a standard PNG or JPEG. These are just standard picture files. Just so you know, these ones that are HD are, you have to upgrade to the paid service of WordArt. We're not going to do that right now. So I'm going to just save this as a PNG file that I can maybe insert into a document if I want to. And then I could put it in a slideshow if I want, or use it for something else. But just looking at my word cloud here, let's look at it and make some predictions. So the most important word here is energy, power, fossil use, electric, fuel, interact, joules, human, mass, solar unit. So those are the big words, okay? So just looking at this, I'm going to make a prediction that this article is about energy and the different types of energy: solar power, fossil fuels, turbines, electricity, wind. And it's going to look at how humans interact with energy throughout the world. That's my assumption based on what this article is going to be about. I could also look at these words, and I could look at them as a student or as a teacher and say, oh, do I know what interact means? Do my students know what joule is? Do they know what the difference between electric and fuel energy, or wind energy, or fossil fuels, or solar energy? Those might be concepts we need to know more about as I preview this article. What does kinetic mean versus potential? So this is giving us a lot of information that I could look at. What is a turbine? So that I could prep the students before they read this. Or as a student, I could look at this and say, maybe I need to look up some of these words before I read this article. Once I do read the article, I could then go back and use this word cloud to help me summarize. the article as well. And I can make predictions about, was my prediction about the article correct? And maybe I need to change that in the final summary about what the object of the article is. This could also be a study guide for students. If this was like a chapter of a book, this would show me the most important vocabulary and words and the most important ideas. So this is a great study guide. It could be used a lot of different ways to promote memory, studying, all kinds of different stuff. Word clouds are really great. And I think we should be using them a lot more for reading comprehension tasks. So definitely get to know tools like Wordartcom and word clouds for reading comprehension. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be glad to talk about it. Thank you.